Hello, fellow duelists. This is Shadow of the Moon, and today I'm going to be finally showcasing you my updated Raidraptor deck profile. So I am really looking forward to showcasing this deck. There's been a lot of deck profiles from this deck recently that come out because the new support had just recently come out. And most of it is pretty much going to be the exact same. There's just going to be different variations. So I'm just being able to happily being able to finally show you this deck. So Raidraptors have always been one of my favorite archetypes, and it is just a nuts the new support that we got in the form of Raidraptor Rising Rebellion Falcon, which is a 4K Exceed monster that is unaffected by card effects. Normally, when you would have Ultimate Falcon, it was 3,500, but they were still somehow able to actually beat around it and get off the field. This is almost impossible, and it is so easy to bring this thing out. You literally just need just a few monsters. You just need to exceed climb. It is so easy and so fun to showcase this deck off. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on into the deck profile. So I just want to say thank you very much to everybody that watches my channel, who comments, who just takes the time out in your busy schedule just to come to this channel and just watch all the fun content that I have. You rock. And I can never thank you guys enough. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I will always be eternally grateful for it. So let's go ahead and get straight on to this incredible deck profile. So first off, 3 copies of Tribute Lanius. Tribute Lanius will send a card from your Raidraptor card from your deck to the graveyard. Tribute Lanius is a very important card in this deck, in my opinion, and works very well with it. And I still use it at 3. Some people use it too. I like using it at 3 because I never find any bricks with it. And then just 2 Raiders Wing. I know some people can play this at 3. I like playing it at 2 because I think it's perfect. Obviously, if you have an Exceed monster, you can have this card's in your graveyard. You can actually detach a material to special summon this card from your graveyard, and it can help you Exceed climb. Because just like a Synchro deck, this is actually an Exceed climbing deck. And that's the object of the deck, is to be able to get into this big boy right here and other cards in the deck to actually be able to help you. So Raiders Wing will definitely be able to help you do it. And then 2 copies, of Mimicry Lanius. So if this card's in your graveyard, you can actually banish this to add a Raidraptor card that was in your graveyard back to your hand, kind of like Fuzzy Lanius or any other Raidraptor card that you want. So that works very well with the deck. And then we have the new and improved deck, which will now include the new guys, which one of them is going to be 2 copies of Nor Lanius. So Nor Lanius is a great new addition to the card or deck. So during your main phase, if this card is normal or special summon this turn, you can target a Raidraptor monster you control and add 1 Raidraptor monster at a different level than the monster from your deck to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard to increase or decrease the levels of all Raidraptor monsters you currently control by 1. So you can only activate it once per turn, and what makes him very viable in the deck is that he can increase and decrease the levels of all your Raidraptor monsters, making it very easy to Exceed climb. Alright, and then the other new addition, which is going to be Bloom Vulture. This is the one that I actually showcased just now. Bloom Vulture is great because it is level 4 as well, and if you do not control any other face-up monsters other than Winged Beast, you can special summon this card and 1 Raidraptor monster from your hand. So it's a double special summon. If you control any monsters, you can target a level 4 or lower Raidraptor monster in your graveyard, including this card, special summon them in defense position, and you can only activate it once per turn and only once during that turn. You cannot special summon cards from the rest of your turn except for dark monsters, which is completely okay because this whole deck is nothing but dark monsters, but he allows you to have additional special summons, additional monsters on the field. This deck really goes fast. It was great because in Darkwing Blast we finally got support for Black Wings, which I was so stoked and happy over it, but now we finally get new support for Raidraptors, which has been long overdue. Before, literally the only way you could have a really good field is if you had Calyuga set up, you had Ultimate Falcon, and then you had like Gaga Magician and stuff. Now you don't have to worry about that. Now you can go just pure full on Raidraptors, and some people choose like pure Raidraptor, some people like variant and stuff. I prefer just to play my decks pure, so I always like being able to do that. And then Fuzzy Lanius goes back to the deck, So Fuzzy Lanius, if you control a Raidraptor monster other than him, you can special summon this card from hand, and when he's sent to the graveyard, you can add a Fuzzy Lanius from your deck to your hand. So it's a great way to be able to recycle those level 4s and get them special summoned. And then triple Strangle Lanius. Strangle Lanius is a little bit pricey. I believe he's at $18 to $20 right now. Obviously, I got these many moons ago, years ago, when they first came out. So Strangulonius is great because it does lock you into dark monsters, but you can special summon this card from your hand if you control a Raidraptor monster. Another way to special summon them, and just all in all really good. And then we're going to be going into our other monsters. So first off, our one-ofs, we've got Singing Lanius. If you control an Exceed monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. We have Raidraptor Heal, which is the only level 3 in this deck, which you can special summon from your hand if you control a Raidraptor monster. And then Pain Lanius, which if you control a Raidraptor monster, 2 or more, you can special summon this card from your hand. And you can choose the attack or defense, whichever lower, and you can make it the level of the monster that you selected, and just take battle damage or take burn damage equal to it. So if you have like 300 defense or 300 attack, you would only take 300 life points to special summon them. And then for the hand traps, so hand traps are universal. You can pick whatever you want. I just had what was lying around: Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Obviously, Effect Failure, which actually is a very, very good card in this format. So you've got 3 Effect Failure, and then you've got 3 Infinite Impermanence. So that's a really good card in this deck that shuts you down. And plus, since it's mechanical, it's Cyber Dragon and they're mechanical, I thought it would also be appropriate with the deck. And then cards that are not Raidraptors, but works very well, Smorg. So if you normal special summon a monster, you can reveal this card from your hand, 2 special summon this card from your hand, and send another Smorg card from your deck to the graveyard. Also, you would add a Smorg card from your deck to your hand. The field spell, but you don't need to do that in this. You were just literally using this for a level 4 spam, so that's why it's in there. So that's going to be it for the monsters and the hand traps. So now we're going to be moving on to the spells and traps, and there's not that many of them. So you've got the new Raidraptor boost. If a Raidraptor monster you special summon from the extra deck to your field, you can add a Raidraptor spell and trap from your deck to your hand, except Raidraptor Roost. You can target 1 or your Raidraptor monsters that are banished or in your graveyard, and then put them on the bottom of your deck in anywhere, and then draw a card. So it's good to be able to draw a card also. It's just good to kind of speed up the deck. And then you only do need to play 3 rank ups. So rank up Launch, rank up Raidraptor's Force, which is the new card, and then rank up Skip Force. This card will single-handedly get you into the big boy, Rising Rebellion Falcon. So that's why he's in the deck, definitely. So it's great to be able to use that card again. You know what rank up Magic Force does, and rank up Raidraptor's Force. So during the main phase or the opponent's battle phase, target 2 or more Raidraptor Exceed monsters you control and are in your graveyard, including a monster on the field, and at least 2 remain face up on the resolution. Special summon 1 Raidraptor Exceed monster from your extra deck with a rank equal to the combined ranks, and if you do, attach the targeted monsters to it as material. So this is how you're going to go into your Rising Rebellion Falcon. You're going to get a bunch of Raidraptors, and you're going to have them have combined level of 13, and then go into Rising Rebellion Falcon. This card treated as Exceed Summon, transfer the materials, and you can only activate it once per turn. So that's what makes it just nuts, is another way to be able to go into your Rising Rebellion Falcon, or your Ultimate Falcon for that matter. And then we're going to be playing Foolish Burial. This is actually my son's card because he actually likes collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's why I've got the busted up one. But I thought it was appropriate because he really likes being able to look at this deck. And he bends a lot of his cards, but he likes being able to look at, you know, Dad's deck. So it's nice to be able to actually include something that he has. And then Call by the Grave, obviously to get rid of your opponent, because Call by the Grave is very, very mandatory in this format, especially with Snake Eyes. And then lastly, the new trap card, Raidraptor Glorious Bright. So if you control a Raidraptor monster, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, or if you do control a Raidraptor Exceed monster, you can target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and negate the card's effects, and at the end of the turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 of your Raidraptor monsters that is banished or in your grave, add it to your hand. So it's a great negate, it's a trap, it's a way you can easily search this out. So it's a good card, definitely, to be able to play with this. So that's going to be at the main deck. Let's move on to the extra deck, and I do apologize for the time. So we're using 2 Raidraptor Rising Rebellion Falcons, the big boy, the 4K. So unaffected by other card effects. That's insane. That's crazy. 4K unaffected by card effects. This card is Exceed Summons. You can destroy as many cards as your opponent controls as possible. Then if this card has 3 or more Raidraptor Exceed monsters with different names as a material, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of the destroyed monsters. Not only does this thing burn, destroy, but is unaffected by card effects. This thing is the new and improved boss monster of Raidraptors, and I'm just so ecstatic to use this guy in the deck. I mean, he beats all. I thought Ultimate Falcon was incredible and untouchable. This thing takes Ultimate Falcon and makes him look like trash. This guy is that good, and it's just amazing to see him and how good this card is in this deck. It's just so fun that you can actually finally have a 4K monster like that on the field. And then you have the original Ultimate Falcon, is unaffected by card effects, and also can shut off your opponent's effects. You have Satellite Cannon Falcon. You have Arsenal Falcon, which is a way to go into Rising Rebellion or Ultimate. You have one copy of Brave Strix. Brave Strix, you can play it too. I just prefer to play it at one because you only really need one, especially in this deck. This is another way to Exceed Climb. You have your 2 Raiders Knight and your 1 Arc Rebellion, because Arc Rebellion does count as a Raidraptor monster and can actually single-handedly shut off your opponent's monster effects on the field remaining the turn, and increases attack equal to the original attack of all monsters on the field, easily going in for an OTK of like 10,000 or more damage. I've done it before, especially on Master Duel, and it's a lot of fun to be able to do it on there too in real life. So you have 3 Force Strix. You can knock this down to 2 if you wanted to, but I like 3 because this is one of the big combo starters. This searches for your Raidraptors. This also is what you're going to be helped to go into your Rising Rebellion. And then you've got your Evil Swarm Nightmare. This card is really good for flipping your opponent's cards face down. So I like that because it acts as like a quick effect Book of Moon. And then you've got 2 Force Strix. So Force Strix is great because it is the only link monster in this deck, and Force Strix allows you to special summon a monster from your deck, but negate its effects, which is completely okay, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to immediately be going into another level 4, and then you're going to exceed summon, so it doesn't really matter anyways for that. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. This deck is absolutely bonkers. I apologize for hitting the tablet, or not tablet, the phone. This deck is just so fun to play, and Rising Rebellion Falcon is definitely a boss monster worthy of boss monsters. I mean, this deck is so fast. It does focus very heavily on level 4s, so this whole deck basically is level 4s minus like a few cards, as you can see. And it's just a lot of fun. I'm so happy that we finally get upgraded support for this deck. This is just, it's so good. I'm so happy for it. It's been long overdue. Alright, so that's going to be it for this Raidraptor deck profile. I hope you enjoyed that. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Later.